if after something like this, I get to do, I don't know, like a, lighthearted comedy or something, that would have its own challenges.
We need you in a rom-com after this, I think, just to
Put us all at ease.
Hey Dane, how are you doing, mate?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I'm well. I've been watching American Primeval. Firstly, as a TV fan or a film and TV fan, seeing the name Peter Berg, I'm in, right? As an actor, is it a bit like that as well?
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I want to work with great directors and all different kinds of directors, and Pete is a great director and a unique person, and I think he offers an experience that is going to be unique to any actor. So, yeah, I think, when I saw Pete was doing it, it gives me confidence that it's going to be great. And I didn't know what to expect, but he really does deliver a unique experience for any actor. We set out at first light, one step closer to the life I promised you.
Westerns, they've been around for a long time, but I think they're having a bit of a boom at the minute. I'm sure you've probably heard the words Yellowstone during this promotional cycle. It's like one of the biggest shows in the world. But in your words, what do you think American Primeval offers the Western genre that is different to anything that is and has been out there?
Obviously, Westerns making a comeback. Yellowstone's great. I watch Yellowstone, love it. I like to think of American Primeval as like if you took Yellowstone and doused it in gasoline and set it on fire. I think that's a pretty good.
I think that's like almost underdoing it. Like, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's hard to put into words like how intense this show really is.
I mean, it's one of those things where you think you have an idea of what a show is going to be when you kind of read the synopsis or whatever, and then 10 minutes in, you're like, okay, this is different. So I can't imagine what it was like reading the script, especially when your character goes through a bit of a journey quite instantaneously. As an actor, is it just fun playing roles where your characters are put through their paces in the way that Jacob is?
Well, I wouldn't say it's just fun. There was a lot that went into this. It was a really intense, very kind of like, solitary journey. I was alone by myself a lot of the shoot. The way Pete works is in a very like free-flowing improvisational way. So, it's always important to me to show up prepared, but on this set, I needed to be like fully prepared in the mindset of this guy. I love doing what I do. I love challenging myself in different ways. And, every once in a while, it feels like I'm in the place that I can try to tackle something like this. But it wouldn't be healthy for me to do it every single time. I like doing all different kinds of things, but the more of a challenge, the better, and challenges are different on every film set. But I think, the challenges of this role were pretty obvious when you watch it.
Civilization and civilized, two different words entirely.
When you're younger, I guess the world is your oyster in many ways, and you're like, yeah, throw all the challenges at me. But the older you get, it's almost like a self-preservation, I guess, where you're like, yeah, no, I can't just put myself through this over and over. Do you find that at this stage of your life, you find it easier to just kind of let maybe job opportunities go because you're like, I'm just not there right now to do that?
Look, I would never shy away from an amazing opportunity. I would never shy away from a challenge if I felt like it was worth it, giving the script and the director and the character. It would be really hard to do stuff like this all the time. And also, like I said, I want to challenge myself in different ways, but that's how my choices get made. It's about, crafting a career and just trying to get better at acting, like that's ultimately the goal. I love what I do. There's all different ways to do it. So if after something like this, I get to do, I don't know, like a, lighthearted comedy or something, that would have its own challenges, and I think the more I can keep people guessing as to what's next, the more longevity I'll have to my career anyway.
We need you in a rom-com after this, I think, just to
put us all at ease.
Yeah, exactly.
If they have Havish, I'm going to find them. We will find them.
So how would you describe Jacob?
Jacob is, he's Mormon man that's on his way to Utah in 1857, and he's traveling with a group of Mormons to make it to Utah, to like what will become Salt Lake City. Um, and he's a very devout religious person, and I think he's found true love for the first time in his life. There's a horrible massacre on his people on the way to Utah in the first episode of the series. He gets mostly scalped but survives.
Yeah, he does.
And his journey becomes about avenging this massacre on his people and trying to find his wife, who he's sure is alive. In his heart, he knows. He's going through basically like severe head trauma psychosis while doing all of this. And really, it's just his heart and faith that I think keeps him alive and through this journey on the show.
You've played people on the spectrum of villains, you've played people, good people, and quite often you've played people who have coalesced from one end of the spectrum to the other. What were the differences in this character to then other characters you have played in the past? What do you think stands him out?
Yeah, well, I think reading the script, I was trying to figure out what is making this guy keep going? Like, what is making him not give up? Why does he continue to survive? And I think for Jacob, certainly more than any character I've ever played, like, it's about faith. It's like he's a Mormon. He believes in, God. He believes he can talk to God. God is on his side. He's fated to be in this place, and he's fated to be with his wife. And I think that that's something I never brought into any character I've ever played. But for me, like, Jacob's journey through this show, it's almost like this constant internal conversation that he's having with like a higher power. And that was really interesting to play on camera. Because my acting partner was way up in the sky and invisible most of the time, and it was really once I thought about that, I thought it really unlocked a key to the character, and that's something I've never really messed with before on camera.
Your purpose is your family, your husband.